Okay guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to do the contractors work type graph using people's graph in Excel. So this is a very actually important tool just doing for visualization. It is called people's graph because it shows like the people, the entities like people. So it can also be used for employees. So for our case, it will be for contractors work type. Okay, going straight to the point, we have contractors names Arnold Patrick Limited, Overmass, Kano Limited. So for our case on the ground, we have different kind of contracts. For instance, for our case, we'll be having two method based, the normal one, which is the conventional, the unit paying against the cost and with the physical quantities on the ground. Then the other one is performance based contract. So the contractor is being paid from what he or she has performed. Okay, so for our case, you have contractors, the Arnold Limited. So you have, for instance, the company Robert Limited has 32 method based and 25 performance based contract. So when I move here, conventional method, looking at Robert Limited, I have conventional method of 32 here. So you see Robert Limited 32, and I move to PBC. Keep an eye on this. The Robert has changed to 25. Same applies to Aubameyang Limited and Arnold Limited. So I'll show you in a very simple way on doing this, just using one formula of vertical lookup. So straight to the point, I'll copy now this data, then I'll move here I'll paste it here. There you are. Then I'll do the reformatting. Yes, I delete everything here. Then there you are. You have this already. So first things first, you need first to go to the insert button, to push the insert button. Then here we have add-ins, then people graph. It is on everyone. I'm using from Microsoft Excel 2016, Office 365. You have this option already. So I'll click people's graph, make sure you have internet connection because it uses the internet connection. Then I'll put it somewhere here on top. There you are. Then I'll keep it, maximize it. Yeah, there you are, somewhere around here. So the first thing here, this just shows you like an overview. So you can keep it simple like this. Just click here. Can give it the title, contractors work type. Then you select your data. This is just a preliminary, it doesn't show anything, it doesn't link anything. I do the selection. Okay, this is just a preliminary information you have. So this is the first procedure. The second procedure now, okay, I need to delete this also. The second procedure now, we need to put to put those buttons options here so that to link, at least to direct our Excel graph to link with our data for contractors. So we need to have this developer tab option here. There are some procedures on how to put it. Actually, I'll do a video and show how to put this developer tab, but for now, let us go on. So insert, then there is this one here, option button. Then I'll try to keep it somewhere here. Wow. Then I'll do another one. Yes. Then I keep it here somewhere. Then I'll rename this. Okay. I'll rename this. Okay. Then I'll start with this. This should be, method based or conventional method. There you are. Then I'll do this one. I'll rename also this one. This is the performance based contract. I'll do the shortcut PBC. Okay. So you see now these are just option button, doesn't affect your data, so it just doesn't change anything, it has not been linked yet. So I'll do the linking now. So you need to first for instance click on option button 1, then format control. Then I'll do a 3D shading to just give it a good visualization. Then you have to select a cell link. So I'll link it here, I'll fix my cell here, and I say to here, then okay. You see, now you see when I click method base, observe here, changes to 1. When I do PBC, it changes to 2. So what has been done here, it just moves from one column index to another. So this is just the second procedure after putting option buttons. Now we have just what we've done, we have linked to a particular cell, which will be like our reference cell. So the other thing now, we need to put a formula which can now move and interact with our data for these particular contractors performing different work types. So I'll come here across on my second table, I'll put an equal sign, then I'll use the vertical lookup. You see, this lookups vertically. So I double click it here, then lookup value. What's our lookup value? It should be contractor names. Bear in mind, these should be very similar. The contractor names, the spelling here should be very similar. So this is the lookup value, but where I put a comma, the table array, where should it look? I mean, in a data table. This is the data table. So I'll select, this is what the contractor name should be looked at for a vertical lookup. Then we're done with that procedure. Then put a comma again, then column index. You see, column index, do you remember when we were doing this, the changing of PBC to method base? It was changing from one column to another. So we are now we put in the formula, we fix where our column index is. So for our case, it's here, A10. So I'll put A10, then you need to fix it by clicking Shift F4. Anyway, depends on the computer. Some of them is function in F4. So after fixing it now, you see, because when you are moving from PBC to method base, it was changing from 1 to 2. So now we have a lookup, we have a lookup formula already. So we need to add an additional sign. That means if it changes from 1, then to change to 2. Why is it additional sign 1 to 2? That means if the column name is method base 1, the condition is met, then it's okay. It will print, it will type the method base 1. So if +1, that if the condition 2 is met by moving this to PBC, that means it will move to another column, which is PBC, performance base 2. So it's like a true and false. So if the condition 1 is met by clicking method base, it will be in column 1. By clicking PBC, it will be column 2. So this additional sign is the changing of one column index to another. Then I'll do the comma, so it gives me an option true and false. So in normal commanding or programming, 0 and 1 means true and false. For our case, because we need the exact match, that means we put a 0. That means we need the same exact number. If it's method based, Aubameyang Limited has 41 contracts method based, should be 41, not approximate. If it's Overmass Limited, it should be 30 for method. So that's why I'll punch a 0 number here, then I'll close the parenthesis, then enter. You see, method base selected. Then what I'm done here, what I'm supposed to be doing here right now is to just drag all the way to the bottom. Okay, upon dragging to the bottom there, this is bold, vary out, and can remove the bold. Simple, So have this. Now it's linking, but yet it doesn't change, doesn't affect the data, because the data we selected for this contractors work type graph, it was only for this particular table. So now you need to reselect again. Okay, so I go back here, I come here to my data, then select your data. Now for our case, we are not selecting this first table, now we are selecting the second one, which has already been formatted with our formulas. Then upon clicking, tells you have 7 rows and 2 columns, which is okay. Then create, see, now it's okay. So it is linked already. Method based, for instance, Robert Limited, method based, Robert Limited has 32, but performance based has 25. So keep an eye on Robert Limited. When I move to PBC now, it has changed to 25. There you are, you're done. So the another procedure, the last one, now we do the formatting, give our graph better visualization. So I'll come to settings here. So you see you can change the type. Okay, this is okay for me. Theme, you can change the theme. For instance, if you prefer maybe a blue color, it's up to you. You see, it can look like this. Depends on the visualization and your eyes and everything. So this is okay. So for me, I'll do the yellow. Yeah, I have sharp eyes. So this is how it's done. So you can now move from method based to PBC. So this was just a simple demonstration how to manage contractors. For instance, you're an agency, road agency. Maybe you want to know how many contractors are working in these particular contracts and how many are working on the other particular contract. So you can just do a visualization like this and present it to a high official or to a colleague or to someone. So this is just a tool which has been introduced by Excel, a people's graph. So it can be used also for employees, by the part-time, full-time, or different kind of cars, maybe the cars, Toyota or BMW, VW. So it depends. It's just like a and B options to select and show it on the graph. Hopefully everything is well understood, but I think you can do it. Doing practices, it will make you much more better. So you can play with the graph, do for another different scenarios, whether contractors work type, people's graph. For my case, it was just contractors work type. Okay, hopefully I'm understood, but if there are any question, you can just ask and I'll be ready to answer you. Thank you.